welcome back to the René of Paris channel today for another live stream. Today's live stream, if you can't tell, is going to be more of a costume look. It's going to be a get ready with me today, featuring of course makeup and wigs, but it's going to be a cosplay get ready with me with a guest. Tofu Games, she's a live streamer on Twitch, she is a cosplayer, all sorts of things. So when she joins, definitely check out her channels after this because she's amazing with all of her cosplay looks. So I think she just requested to join right now. Hello!
Hi there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi. So, hi everybody, I'm Tofu or Tori, either one works. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to be here with Abby, who's a fellow cosplayer enjoyer, and today we're going to be doing kind of a cosplay inspired look. Black Cat Felicia Hardy from the Spider-Man comics games. Abby, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. I'm super excited for this. So because I knew we were doing Black Cat, I put together somewhat of like a thrown together look. I'm super proud of this.
It looks so good with the white fur and everything. I love it.
It's a good makeshift last minute cosplay. I was like impressed with myself that I threw this together.
I think you did. I think you did so amazing. I think it's perfect, genuinely.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Yeah, so today we're doing a get ready with me, and for those of you who are new to the channel, we do these things where we have a guest come on here and walk me through a makeup look, and then every once in a while we do a cosplay version. So because we are both cosplayers, we thought it would be a great opportunity to do a cosplay look. Yeah,
it's gonna be super fun. So I was wondering if we should start with like a wig that we think would be super like Black Cat, or if we should start with the makeup. I kind of want to show everyone some of the
totally up to you. Like in terms of showing the wigs, I feel like we can do that after we have a little bit more makeup done. But if you want to start with the specific Black Cat wig, I'm totally down for that.
Yeah. Too. So this is the one I have here, and look, you'll see that she has the mask and everything on. This is René Paris's Allure Waves style in the color Lunar Haze, and this is the perfect like silvery gray color for our character that we're doing today.
That is gorgeous.
And she's got kind of a black root here too. And so yeah,
I have the same wig but in a different color. Not really fitting for Black Cat, but I definitely will show this later too.
Amazing. So that's the wig that we're gonna be that I'm gonna be like kind of centering today's look around. And then we also have Riley. And then in pastel pink, which is also going to be great for our look today. And I
have as well.
And then
so it's always fun to see all the different wig options that work for the same look, because I think any one of these would be perfect for a
I think it would be so fun. And I also pulled out Kason in lilac silver because I thought that would was also very Black Cat in a way.
Yeah, I also have Sage and Moonstone. So we have so many options here. I'm so excited to see all of them.
That's such a perfect color for it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just like such a silvery. So they're almost like a gradient of like this is pastel pink, but it's a very subtle pink, so it almost looks white, especially on camera.
It definitely looks white on camera for sure.
Awesome. So do you want to start with wearing the wig, or do you usually do the makeup first and then put the wig on?
I think because I want to showcase the wig, I think I'm going to start my process of as someone who has a lot of bio hair. Like, I think I want to show everyone how I put it all up, and then I'll just clip back the hair once I have it kind of installed, and then you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. But
I'll start with putting the wig on too. And what's really fun about this is a lot of times when we have guests on here, it's people who also experience hair loss, because I have alopecia myself, so I'm totally bald, so I wear wigs just for that, but also for fashion reasons, for cosplay. But it's also fun to show that wigs aren't just for people who have hair loss. You can wear them for fashion, cosplay, all of the above. You don't need a reason to wear wigs.
Exactly. That's the fun part of it. And like sometimes between hair appointments for me, because I do like to color my hair pretty often, sometimes between hair appointments I really appreciate wigs even more when my roots are super grown out, or like it's so convenient. And sometimes when I'm in a rush, it is quicker to throw on a wig cap and a wig grip for me and to put on like a pre-styled synthetic wig than it is for me to like curl my own hair, for example.
Because I love the way synthetic wigs hold their style. You don't have to like this one, for example, it's curly, but I don't have to it just stays like that, which I love.
And another thing I love about like synthetic wigs like René of Paris is probably like I'm in a place that rains super often. I'm in Portland, so no matter if I go outside with a René of Paris wig on, the style isn't going to change.
Yeah.
Like it's not like The
Right, so
curls
like the
don't
comparison for me
get
is
affected.
like human hair wigs versus synthetic. Like I never wear human hair wigs unless it's like nice weather. And synthetic, like I feel like the misconception is that everyone thinks human hair is like the superior option, but they're just good for different uses. And I
100%.
love synthetic for almost every day. So
I prefer synthetic,
I
probably.
honestly do too. I love a human
Like,
hair for other reasons too, but it's like synthetic, you just get the wide range of fun colors. And of course, like minimal styling. Like I love not having to do anything to
yep.
it. It's so great.
And if you have enough synthetic wigs, you rarely have to wash them unless you are doing like, unless you have your go-to kind of everyday
Right.
look. You really don't, there's not a ton of maintenance you have to do. Maybe just brush her out with a wide tooth comb before you put her back in her box and everything.
So walk me through what you just did with your hair there. So you tied it back into a bun, is that right?
I just stuffed it into the wig cap. Like there was no rhyme, there was no reason to it. Just stuffed it into the wig cap, kind of tried to mold it around my head so there's not like one big lump.
Okay.
And I try to just mold it on there and then I kind of secure it with the wig grip. I do sometimes do the bald cap method depending on the wig. But in general, like this is the quickest and easiest way for me to do.
Yeah, you did that so fast with like minimal effort. So
yeah, it's actually pretty quick, which I really enjoy. And also like the great thing about these high-end synthetic wigs is that you don't have to do a ton of anything to them right out of the box. They're pretty much wearable when you like take them out, as like you know. So like I don't really have to do a bald cap method like I do with like a beauty supply wig, for example. Like the prep work just gets cut like not even in half by like 2/3 with like a high-end synthetic.
because it comes like pre-trimmed with if it is a lace front. And also
Exactly.
like I find with these wigs for me personally, I don't need to use any sort of glue. Like I threw mine on my head in like 2 seconds. And it's like, because I don't have hair either. It's just like super simple. But as long as it's adjusted properly, like I can like whip my hair around and it wouldn't fall off.
Totally relate to that. Yeah. I don't have to do glue, but if I'm gonna leave the house, like if I'm not doing just pictures, if I leave the house and it's like super windy in Portland, I'll probably do a little bit of glue, just a little gel.
Security sometimes for sure.
Yeah, and I just put it right here on the forehead, blow dry it for a second, and then it's good to go pretty much.
Like, what kind of glue do you use? Because sometimes if I'm doing that and I want to like make sure a wig is super secure, I'll use like the Got to Be glue gel because that almost doubles.
It's the Got to Be glue gel. That is exactly what it is.
Cosplay, yeah. Would that look
you
so
know,
good for you?
Isn't it like such a beautiful color?
Yeah, the color is amazing. I've never tried that one personally, and now it's like on my list for sure. The Muse collection specifically, which is what that wig is from, that range has the coolest colors. Like this color, Polar Sky, is from that range, and this one is mauve.
I'm a huge fan of like colored pastels, and this just like takes the cake pretty much.
Colors I've ever seen. They're so fun.
They're so fun. I'm gonna comb it out just a bit. But yeah, no, so I'm like someone who has a cowlick. So there's like, I can't really do middle parts or middle styles very often as a result of it. It's just so difficult. And that's the great thing that I like about wigs is that like I can try styles that don't really work with my natural hair anatomy.
So you
like a middle part
your hair and spend a lot of time trying to get it to cooperate. You can just put on the style that's already ready. I love that.
Like you can like I can have curtain bangs today in a middle part, which isn't something I can do with my bio hair. All right, I'm just gonna pin that back and then we can get started with makeup. Oh my god, how fun.
Yeah, so for anyone watching too, I think what we're going for this look is it is a Black Cat Felicia Hardy inspired look, but it also is a look that can be used for like day-to-day wear as well. So even if you're not a cosplayer,
it's a natural soft glam. So it's like glamorous, but it's somewhat understated.
Okay.
I think we're gonna start. You can either start with your moisturizer or your eyeshadow primer. I think I'm gonna start with a little bit of moisturizer, and make sure you have clean hands. I'm gonna go rinse my hands real quickly.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm gonna use my face primer because I don't have an eyeshadow primer, and I do have to prime the rest of my face anyway. So I will just start with that as well.
Yeah. So I think I use eyeshadow primer, and then I use just a moisturizer for the rest of my face.
Okay, perfect. I feel like if you're someone who's new to makeup, like not you, but someone else watching, like the difference it makes to put on moisturizer first. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that, but yeah, like, my makeup would never apply smoothly, and then I was like, oh, I just have to moisturize. Like so simple.
Do you have combination skin? I have oily skin.
I would say combination, yeah, because it just never cooperates no matter what I do. So, but if I moisturize and use primer, then it's like no problem.
That's relatable. I try not to center too much of it around my nose, but I definitely want to get this part of my cheek because that's where I tend to get a little dry. And just it creates a nice even base, I've noticed. So
yeah, I feel like I just get a little dry if it's winter, but definitely I do like if I'm wearing eyebrows or something and I get really oily, they'll just like wipe right off. So
yeah. No, that's relatable. Just grabbing more paper towels. All right. So then we're going to start with an eyeshadow primer, or you can also use concealer if you don't have an eyeshadow primer. You can use a little bit of foundation. But again, we're just going to create a nice, like, even surface. And I always take my products and I kind of put it on my hand and work from there.
Perfect.
So that
copy what you do. Because that's the fun about these Get Ready With Me's is I just follow whoever is on here with me, and I always learn so much from doing that.
Yeah, we'll get to try different makeup techniques when we like do makeup with different people, which is super fun. Things that we might not normally like have tried by ourselves.
Right. Especially, I feel like every time did my dog just pop into frame? Someone just said doggy in the chat. She's like running around behind me constantly.
Oh.
But, yeah, I feel like every time I do a Get Ready With Me, there's always one makeup thing that I take away and start incorporating into my makeup routine.
Yeah. No, that's the fun part
about
that perspective.
Concealer on the rest of your face, are you doing that later or should I do that now as well?
I will be doing concealer probably after eyeshadow. So because I am a little acne prone, I do love concealer and I love, my foundation, but I do tend to want to do my eye makeup first, just so that we can cover up any fallout with the concealer.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it for sure.
That's usually my preferred order.
That's so funny because I usually do concealer first. So this is another fun example of like, I'm gonna see if this works better for me now.
Different people, different routines, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, are you good with your eyeshadow primer?
I think so. So I use concealer, so hopefully that's a good enough primer. I usually don't even bother with eyeshadow primer.
That's gonna be good enough.
Okay.
I'm going to take kind of a flat brush, and I'm gonna take kind of a silvery purple or silvery pink eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna dip it into there. I think that's gonna be our main color, and we'll build off of this.
That one.
Yeah, that one or the purple one, either one are great.
Okay. Great. I'm gonna watch you first, and I'm gonna copy it. Is the one you're using shimmery right now?
Pardon?
Is the one you're using right now shimmery?
It's a little shimmery, yeah. I think the shimmer is kind of what we want. So anything with a little bit of shimmer is going to be good. And I'm just going to kind of pat it in. I always start in the inner corner, or not the inner corner, but the inner part of the eyelid.
Like the crease, kind of like.
Yeah. And I just lightly kind of pat it in all over. And then we can fix up this side in a bit, but.
Okay, cool.
That's where I start usually. It's such a pretty color. Like if I move.
Yeah, I love the way that looks. Because even just on days where I'm not doing like a full glam, even just like a little pop of color.
A little pop of color, a little bit of a shimmer is always super fun.
I love it. Okay. So tell me about how you first got into wigs, because I know you cosplay also. So did you get into wigs from cosplay first, or just because you liked changing up your hair?
That's exactly how I got into wigs first, was through cosplaying. And I believe some of my first wigs were, hard front with bangs. It's always going to be a hard front with bangs that are most people's introduction, and that was mine as well. And then I started getting into beauty supply lace fronts, and that taught me so much. That was such a learning curve for me on learning how to install a wig with glue, with a bald cap method. And then I was starting to get like almost intimidated with how many steps that requires, because when I wear wigs, I usually don't sleep in them like a lot of people do. A lot of people do like to, once they install a wig, they'll keep it on for as long as they can until it starts to tangle or until they need a new one. But so a lot of people of color do that, but my hair isn't really built for that because I do have, Caucasian hair. And so then I was starting to get intimidated with how many steps it requires to do a bald cap method and a wig installation with glue. And I was like, I just want to have like hair for the day. I don't want to
Yeah, like you're looking for
necessarily
something
sleep in it.
easier in the first
So
place. You don't want to spend
then
an hour
I
having to
started
do it.
getting into, you know, high-end synthetic wigs, and you just really can't beat how easy they are.
Right.
Like there's and how good they look because I mean from a distance, yeah, it looks like gray or silver, but you
It's so
can see how much
dynamic. It's amazing how from a distance it might look like one color, but if you look at the individual strands, like this one, it's like some
there's
platinum blonde, some
you know
white,
there's four
pink.
different colors in there,
Yeah,
and that
it's
dimension, that
amazing.
level of dimension and attention to detail, it just cannot be beat anywhere else in the industry, and Renee Paris does such a good job of it.
Mm-hmm. So you got into it for cosplay first, and then what kind of made you decide to start wearing them just like whenever, like for fashion
I
reasons?
think when, especially as I started to let my hair grow out, because I was very much a 3 a.m. bleach kind of girl. Like I'd be up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, I need to change my hair now,
Yeah.
and it needs to be done within an hour. So I would damage my hair with those, you know, 3 a.m. like little impulsive moments that I'd have. And somewhere along the way, I was like, it's expensive and it doesn't look very good the way I'm doing it because I wasn't always going to a stylist back then. And I was like, I want to get into wigs. I want to change up my hair often, but without all of the damage that can come with
Yeah.
it. So
I always say that if I had hair of my own, like if I grew my hair, it would be so damaged because I would just be constantly changing it out.
constantly changing
So
it.
it's probably a blessing in disguise.
And so I think you guys might have seen in the very beginning, I kind of limit the color that I have in my hair to only the front, which is what I
I love the way
see
the front
mostly
looks.
anyway. So, but yeah, when I want to have full hair that's like a different color. Wigs are just, you can't beat the convenience and the look of them. I'm
And
gonna
you don't have to worry about like upkeep or anything.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take some of the eyeshadow that we've been using and just put it on the lower lash line and connect it to the upper that we just did.
Okay.
The great thing about shimmery eyeshadows is that they're pretty forgiving. Sometimes they're softer to work with, I've noticed, than just a straight up
Yeah,
matte eyeshadow.
that's a good point. So there's like you can layer it a bit more, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you first get into cosplay? Like how long have you been cosplaying for?
I think it would have been my first cosplay, I think, was Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
Love that.
And she's a solid choice, right? And I believe that was back in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Okay.
So it's been a few years, but it's been a very fun few years.
Yeah, I love that. And then like did you start like from at home cosplays? Did you go to cons right away or like what was your experience with
I
that?
was kind of in a rural area at the time. I was in college, so it wasn't really for cons. It was just for my own personal
Yeah.
enjoyment and being like, I think the art form is what really appealed to me because I was always like an artist. Like I did graphite drawing. I always loved makeup. I always loved fashion. And you know what? I still like I was raised as an only child,
Mm-hmm.
so I still played dress up and still did tea parties and still had imaginary friends all the way up till the time I was like 16 or
Yeah.
so. So
Mm-hmm.
like cosplaying felt like a very natural like progression of everything
Yeah.
that I enjoyed doing already and everything that I had already like been doing. So
Mm-hmm.
how about you? When did you start?
It's hard to say because I feel like the way I started is I just slowly got more and more into Halloween costumes every year and just like went harder and harder. And then I
Harder.
was like, you know what? I don't
Yeah.
need to just do this at Halloween. I can do this whenever. So I
Yeah.
guess like there was one Halloween costume where I did Harley Quinn, of course, classic. But I just like spent so much more time on that one. And like I did so much for the makeup and I like dyed a wig. And then I was like, this is really fun. And then the first con that I went to in a cosplay was Diva from Overwatch.
I've done a cosplay too.
I
That's such
love
a classic
that.
one. Oh my
It was so
God.
funny too, though, because at my first con, it was like PAX East or something. I was really nervous to cosplay because I just didn't realize how common it was. So it was like a really like simple version, and no one even knew I was in cosplay. They just thought I was like a diva. I had like the headset. I like 3D printed my own little like diva prop, and then I had like a diva jacket. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, this is a cosplay, but in reality, it was kind of just like a diva themed outfit. But and then when I went to my next con, I was like, okay, I don't have to be afraid to cosplay now.
I love a good like inspired look though, kind of like what we're doing today, you know. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to always like that's the great thing about cosplays and even wigs. It's like you don't always have to go full send like you don't always have to full send it. It can sometimes be
exactly.
subtle. It can sometimes be just something that has inspired you. It doesn't have to be like the full perfect thing, you know?
Yeah, and it's such a good way to dip your toe into cosplay if you're nervous like I was going to my first con. It's like it could just be a pass as a normal outfit, but then if you decide you want to go harder next time, then you can.
Yeah, you can always add on top of it, which is super
Yeah,
fun.
very true.
I'm gonna take you can this is the time to do eyeliner, or this is the part of my routine where I do eyeliner. I have hooded eyes, so I tend to opt for a pencil as opposed to a pen because it's a little more forgiving. And then I tend to draw my eyeliner down a little bit
Okay.
to follow my natural eyeline. But you can do your eyeliner however you want at this point
Yeah,
in
it's
the
hard
process.
to decide because the get ready with me purpose is for me to follow someone else's makeup look. But then I feel like with eyeliner, the best tip for anyone who doesn't regularly do eyeliner is it's best to work with your eye shape to figure
Oh,
out the look.
100%.
Yeah, I think
100%.
people always try to like mimic someone else's routine to a T, but in reality, it's good to just like kind of test with what works good on your face.
I think eyeliner is a very personal and individualized experience for each
Yeah.
person, you know?
So I might do like a kind of fusion between the two. We'll see what happens. I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet. But like I feel like I've tried downturned eyeliner, and no matter how hard I try to get it to be downturned, it always ends up being like upturned.
Maybe that's
I'm just so used to doing it like that.
that might just be your natural eye anatomy then.
Yeah, true. So are you just
So
with the wing, or you're going over the whole eye so far?
So I start right here and then I bring it down to where my natural eye wants to go. And then I connect it to the bottom lash line and then I smoke it out with a brush to kind of blend out that like liner that we just did.
Nice. Okay. Let's see.
I've noticed that I really like working with a cool toned brown as opposed to a black.
Okay. I can hear my dog drinking water. She always gets so restless whenever I'm on a live stream or something. She always wants to be right in my lap at all times. And then if I try to do anything that doesn't involve that, she's like, what are you doing?
My cats are similar.
I love that. How many cats do you have?
I have two, Lulu and Tigger, and they're both senior cats. So for the most part, they're pretty like low maintenance.
Yeah.
But sometimes Lulu gets in a mood when I'm like live streaming in the other room and she'll start howling.
I love that. But I feel like the sound of cat meows is so much less offensive than dog barking. Like I feel like when a dog barks, it's so startling. And when a cat meows, it's always like, oh, that's so cute.
I think you have a great point there.
Yeah, I'm such a cat person, and I also have a cat as well. He's downstairs right now. But I found this dog that I have. She's right here. I found her lost in a park 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
And then I found out she was abandoned there. And then I was like, okay, now I'm too attached to her. I guess she's my dog now. But I was always such a cat person, and I was like, I'm never gonna get a dog. And then
that's such a fun story.
She kind of looks like a cat, though. Yeah.
Both of my cats are shelter cats.
I love that. How old are they?
Lulu is 10, Tigger's 15. I like with my lifestyle and everything, having lower energy cats is definitely like better. And I love providing a place where like older animals can kind of like live out their golden years, you know?
Yeah. So you adopted them when they were already senior cats?
Yeah.
That's really, yeah, that's always great. Sometimes you go into shelters and it's so sad when they're like, oh, this cat has been here for 5 years.
It really
You're like, oh no.
is. Like, those are the cats I want. Those are the ones that I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, you're going home with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, any cats I've had my entire life were just cats that, like, showed up on our doorstep one day.
The cat distribution system,
yes,
right?
I love it. That's why I say with my dog, it was like a glitch in the cat distribution system because like, if you look at her, she literally has, like, pointed ears like a cat and everything. So
Oh my
like, cat distribution system thought she was a cat.
That's a cute dog too. What?
Sweet.
Oh my God.
I was at the park and I opened my door and I saw her running and I was like, oh my gosh, whose dog is that? She just jumps in my car. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, okay, guess this is mine. You're like, this is my baby now.
Yeah. I spent like months trying to find her owners, and then someone told me that that's a really well-known park for people abandoning dogs. I was like, oh no.
Oh,
yeah,
Well, I'm so glad that she's found a home with you.
Yeah, yeah, she's very attached now. She's just curled up on my lap now.
I didn't catch her name. What's her name?
Millie. So it's a funny story. Her name is short for Nilbog, which is goblin backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, like that's a very normal thing to name your dog. But it was definitely like a temporary name because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna keep her. I'll just call her this for now.
And
Yeah, very
just
long
that.
story behind that, but it's twice removed
love
from
it.
goblin. How did your cats get their names?
I just kept their shelter names. I didn't think that I would like them, but they seemed to fit, and I was like, yeah, this is their name,
Oh,
Tigger and
names,
Lulu.
yeah. And sometimes I never know how I feel about changing a shelter animal's name because if they already know it and they're used to it, then
Yeah.
like, I don't want to change it. But I feel like that's more of a thing with dogs, especially because I don't know, I feel like cats just ignore you no matter what. So
You're right.
mm-hmm. But those are cute names. My parents' dog's name is Lulu as well.
It's a good name.
Yeah. How's your spelled? Lulu or
Lulu.
Mm-hmm. They tried to do Lou for a while and it wasn't catching on, so they just changed it to Lulu.
What a funny way to spell it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Very cute. Okay.
Sometimes eyeliner can be so tricky to like get even.
Yeah, right. Just keep going back and forth between the two wings. And it's so funny. I'm so used to doing my concealer and stuff first, and I'm just seeing my like massive dark circles, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna fix this.
I know. I'm looking at my acne, and I'm like, when I usually do my makeup, I don't think about being perceived. Well, like,
Yeah, right?
so while I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, my skin is so bad. Like the entire time I'm working on this eye makeup. Goodness.
Oh my gosh, but it's the kind of thing that like no one else really notices but yourself, especially when you're holding the mirror this close to your face. So
you know what? I think you're right.
mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So when did you get into streaming on Twitch? So like, is that your like main thing that you do?
So I do like YouTube videos and I do streaming on Twitch and I do like movie reactions or gameplay videos on like right now I'm playing Spider-Man on my YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh, I've been dying to try that game too.
Oh my God, you totally should. I especially saw that you were into like that you did the Spider-Gwen cosplay. I feel like you'd really enjoy playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would too, but I wanted to play the first one first because I haven't played that yet.
Of course.
And like I don't have a PlayStation myself, so I'd have to borrow my brother's or like my boyfriend's or something. So I'm like, okay.
It might even. I think the first Spider-Man game is now on Steam, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can play it on PC.
Because I've always been like a PC gamer and like a Switch gamer a bit. So
yeah,
I do want to like dip my toe more into like the PlayStation games, but for some reason I just like haven't.
I think some of the older ones are on the Steam store, so you can totally like. I think you should be able to play it on PC now.
I'm also such like a nostalgic gamer too that I feel like I just get into one game and just play that forever. And then I have a lot of the games that I want to try, and then I just don't do it yet.
I just keep going back to the theme ones. There's like I call them comfort games.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. But even like for a while, I used to stream on Twitch. It's something I've been really wanting to get back into. But I feel like the games I streamed the most were like RuneScape. Did you ever play RuneScape?
I didn't know.
Yeah,
but you've been playing it forever?
What?
You've been playing it forever?
Well, I haven't played it in a while now, but it's a game that I played growing up. And then I kind of got back into it for like nostalgic gaming. But that was like a really fun thing to stream too.
You know what? There's totally like a place for nostalgic gamers though on Twitch. Like you don't have to feel
popular on Twitch. I was like, well, I did not expect it.
Yeah, well, because just as much as you like the nostalgic games, there are people who would watch them.
Exactly. So that was really fun. And then I would just play like Overwatch endlessly, which I feel like people got bored of after a while.
I really wanted to get into Overwatch more.
Oh, it's so
fun. Thank you so much. I really wanted to like, but I feel like I'm so late to the party, like learning all of the different ults and everything would just be too much. So I kind of stick to playing Apex, which is like my main like first person kind of game, my competitive game. I'm taking that eyeshadow that we used earlier and I'm putting some on the bottom lash to kind of diffuse the eyeliner that we did. Okay. And it's kind of blending it all together. Let's see, oh my God. I'm seeing some familiar faces. Hi, Herman. Thank you so much. Hey, Ted.
It's so easy to miss some of the chats down here because it's like so tucked at the bottom. But
yeah,
everyone.
Thank you guys so much for joining. Abby and I are super happy to have you here. We're doing a black cat inspired look, which a lot of you guys should know. I think it's probably time to start doing your normal concealer routine. Are you acne prone like I am or no?
Not really. Not for a few years now.
I'm so jealous. What?
I have like other skin concerns besides that, like just the extreme oiliness and stuff, but
Yeah, in different parts.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take, my e.l.f. concealer. I'm gonna dab. Oh my god!
It's like the camo.
Yes.
I don't even know what it is.
It's literally the camo concealer. Mine's the hydrating version though.
Yeah, because I feel like the other one was popular, and I tried that, and that would always get so cakey on me. This feels like so moisturizing.
It clung to my dry spots for sure. So I take a literally the tiniest brush ever.
Okay.
And then I also have a fluffy brush to kind of blend it in. But with that tiny brush, I'm going to get some of these blemishes.
Okay.
And I'm just going to lightly dab some of the blemishes that I have.
I feel like all the tiny brushes I have like some random color of eyeshadow on them, so I'm scared to accidentally mix in like purple eyeshadow.
Fair enough. I really love e.l.f. makeup.
I do too. Almost everything I have in front of me is e.l.f. just because if it works,
a lot of my
it works,
A lot of my brushes are also e.l.f.
Yeah, me too. Except I just had one here earlier while you were talking. One of my I was like holding a brush and it just like flew off. For the most part, they're good, but momentarily just had an issue.
I think I have a really interesting like concealer routine. I can show it to you if you'd like, but
yeah, definitely.
I definitely get it all like on the nose because I actually have a very thin nose bridge, so I kind of like widening it. And when you want to widen something, you use concealer. Yeah. So I put it all in like the center of my face. I really center that concealer. I'm not using a ton. I'm just lightly putting it on there.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because this is where I get the most like discoloration and redness is probably in the center of my face. And then I bring it up to slightly above the eyebrows.
Okay. It's like slight half copying what you're doing and then half doing like what I usually do too.
Yeah, augmented
like my big thing is I have like really bad dark circles. So I feel like if people see me without my concealer, they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?"
Yeah, they're like, "Are you sick? Are you ill?"
My face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't take my concealer all the way up to the lash line. I put it like right here.
Do you blend it up or you just don't bring it up that high?
I am going to blend it up a bit, but I kind of stop it slightly above where the dark circle ends.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to blend some of that with the fluffier brush that I have.
Okay.
And I think I end up using less product with this method of the two different brushes. And
if I wish I had a thin brush that didn't have eyeshadow on it already, or else I would.
And then I think I end up using less product, and I think it ends up having like a really natural, pretty look in person. So because like as well as anyone like how camera makeup is different from in person makeup. Mine's very similar, I think.
I feel like with base, I try not to go too heavy, only because if I do that, I feel like it just gets really like creasy and cakey looking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to do what some people do, where they do like a nice base and like contour, all that stuff. It looks so good on other people, and then when I try it, it's like it really just doesn't.
Well, to be fair, it looks really good on other people when they're on camera too.
Yeah, because that definitely is like camera makeup for sure. So
100%. I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer on the eyebrows as well, like underneath the eyebrows, just a bit.
Do you do anything to your eyebrows, or do you usually just like leave them as is?
I do, yeah. That's one of my last steps, interestingly enough.
It's always so fun to see the order other people do.
Yeah. I think it's because I like like to see how everything else sits before I frame my face with the eyebrows.
And now that you mention it, I feel like I do eyebrows pretty early on, but then I change them at the end, kind of. Like I check to see if I still like the way it came out.
I'm very similar. I do like to see how it fits with the eye makeup that I'm doing, depending on how bold that eye makeup is.
Especially a lot of times when I do my brows initially and then I get to the end, it looks so different. Like suddenly I'm like, why is one eyebrow way higher than the other? Why is one more arched? Like, why did my face morph?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if the eye makeup ends up being super bold, I do kind of need to do a slightly bolder brow just to offset it and change the balance a bit.
So this thing that I'm wearing is, so can you guess what like this is that I'm wearing right now?
Is it from The Witcher at all?
No, so it's a Santa dress that I put a black shirt over.
That is so clever how you did that. I can't.
For like anything with white fur, and then I saw this and I was like, no way.
That is actually, it ends up being so perfect. I'm crying.
It worked way better than I thought it would, but now I'm like so hot. I'm like, okay, this is.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing a turtleneck and I'm like, why did I have us do this in the summer? Like this is
So
because it's spring now.
Like I don't know where you're based, but like what is the temperature like where you are right now?
It's usually about like 50 to about 68 degrees outside these days. Okay. What about you?
Right now it's still kind of like 30s to 40s, but it's that time of year where it fluctuates a lot. So it definitely is colder outside, but that means we have the heat a little higher. Not like on full blast, but like enough.
So it's still kind of chilly for you guys over there.
Yeah, but it keeps going back and forth. Like just a week ago it was kind of in the 60s and I was like, it's finally spring. And then that's the joke with New York weather is we have like a fake spring and then it gets freezing.
Oh yeah, so New York.
Yeah.
What area of New York?
So kind of in a like just outside of the city, kind of.
Yeah.
I used to live like in proper Manhattan, but I feel like it just became too chaotic after a while. And I was like, I need a break from this. I'm just gonna go in a range where it's accessible, but I don't have to be constantly subjected to cars honking. And stuff.
Makes sense.
And having space too. Like I feel like you're probably a similar person where you sound like you have a lot of different hobbies, like cosplay, streaming. Like it's hard to have the space you need in somewhere like New York City.
Oh, 100. Well, especially because that space comes at a premium price.
Yeah, like if you do have space, it's like, yeah.
I am lucky that Portland, because I live in downtown, like Portland. I am lucky that like it's not quite as bad as like New York, like
in terms of space and like
rent wise, like and like I have a storage unit too that's not too far away. I tend to build up my concealer for my under eyes like in layers. So I'll dab a little bit more in the problem areas. I'll wait for a second and then I'll blend it in with that fluffy brush with a really light hand.
Yeah.
And I'll just do that until I feel like that's enough coverage. I think I'm almost done with my concealer finally. I'm definitely someone who like
concealer, I just look like a white mask and I have to add back in the color with like blush and contour and all that. Are you wiping off the excess concealer from your lips?
Yep.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna copy you.
The girls that get it. Get it.
Great. It's like back in the day when like the concealer lip was like the thing.
That is certainly
I remember that.
That is certainly a look, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, let me just erase my lips. Like, they're already small. Let me just make sure they're non-existent.
So we're going to look absolutely ridiculous while we do this next step because I do an underpainting technique, which is I do my blush underneath my foundation.
Okay.
So we're going to look like clowns for a second. We're going to look so ridiculous.
I love that, though.
But I'm going to take the, it's Elf Halo Glow blush right here.
It's not in front of me. I wish I had. I have the camo blush. The other
that will work. That is the like very similar product, I think.
Perfect. I love ones too.
I put it on my hand and I kind of dab it around, and then I'm gonna put it like on the apples of the cheeks. It's going to look so silly for a while, but it will come together in the end.
I'm excited. Okay.
And then I put a little bit on top of the nose.
I
It looks so
started doing that
silly.
recently too. It just gives such a cute little, like, instead of doing it with contour, it looks so
Yeah,
cute.
a little button nose effect, and then I put it on the underneath of the nose as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I use a designated blush brush to kind of pat that all in.
Perfect. Then you said you put foundation on top of this?
I put foundation on top of this. So this technique in makeup is called underpainting. And again,
I've never seen this before.
it looks so silly, but the end result is really pretty, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So
Your makeup
you
always looks
don't
flawless in your photos. So
oh, thank you. You don't have to worry too much about placement because we are going over it with foundation later. So if you mess up, not a big deal. If you put too much, also not a big deal.
So with the way you're placing this, do you kind of use blush almost as a contour, or do you also do contour as well?
It depends on the look, but I do a little bit of contour. But in general, I kind of like to use the blush as the natural contour for my face.
It looks so cute. I love this. Well, I can picture what the final look will look like.
I think the end result is really just glowy and pretty. And then I kind of blend it upwards toward the temples. I blend it slightly on top of the nose and underneath the eyes. Like I just kind of get it everywhere because we are going to cover it up in a bit. So it can even you can even drag it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this is going to look too, because I feel like with the blush that I use, I love these e.l.f. blushes, but I feel like they fade kind of quickly.
Oh, yeah. So if they fade, you can always finish it with a little bit of powder blush.
Okay, cool.
You know how some people bake?
Yeah.
Like their normal foundation? You can finish your foundation at the very end with a little bit of powder blush if yours fades.
Okay, perfect. I would just like carry it with me so I can do like a little little touch up. Like,
okay. So we should look like so silly by now. Actually, on camera, it doesn't even look that bad. But
bad on camera because it kind of just blends.
It's so funny.
That's exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. How camera makeup is so different than what you would wear. Like
so different.
I feel like if you have like locked out and whatnot. I feel like I was like start to do camera makeup all the time if I was like streaming and filming a lot. And then I went to like the grocery store for the first time, and I was like, wait, this is way too much to like be wearing out. I had to, like, get used to
so funny how it looks in your home, and then as soon as you step 1 foot outside it, it changes dramatically.
Public bathroom, suddenly the lighting in there is so harsh,
and you're like, oh, this is very cakey. I'm taking whatever was left on my hand and I put it on my brush and I centered it on the apples of my cheeks, just to have extra concentrated color right there. And then when you finish that step, let me know and we can kind of get into the foundation.
I think this is pretty good.
Jester Prince, this is our Black Cat inspired cosplay look. That's what we're doing today. Do you like it so far? What foundation are you using these days, Abby?
So I don't usually use foundation because what I do is I end up kind of using my concealer as foundation. So do you think that will work for this?
Yes. I've been really enjoying the e.l.f. Halo Glow.
I've been wanting to pick that up. So do you use that as a foundation? Because I've heard
I do use it as a foundation right now. If you want to make your own version of it, you can take your concealer and add a little bit of highlighter and mix it together.
Ooh, that's
and
fun. Okay.
That will give you a very similar shimmer kind of glowy look.
Yeah. I think I have like a
Hi, Frankie.
liquid highlight. I'm going to grab it from right over here.
Yeah, you were pretty close, Jester Prince. How are you guys doing today? This is the first time I've ever done an Instagram Live, and I'm honored to be doing it with René of Paris and Abby, who's a fellow cosplay enjoyer. If you guys haven't checked out her page, please do. She does cosplays as well. I've spread it out on my hand, and I have it on my finger, and I'm just going to dab it. Not kind of where we not on the apples of the cheeks, but on the sides,
Okay.
where we want to diffuse some of the blush that we dragged down. And this, I think, kind of ties the whole look together.
It's making me realize I need new brushes. Like, I have a good foundation brush. Let's see.
I think this ties the blush and the concealer in, like, because it's a pretty thin layer that I'm doing, right? And I think it kind of ties it blends it all together, I think. And then the end result ends up being really pretty, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really nice because then it just makes it nice and subtle. Like, it starts out as like so much, and then you just kind of blend it.
And then we end up diffusing it so much with that light layer of foundation.
So how often do you stream on Twitch?
I probably stream like once a week. That's what I've been trying to do. Sometimes it gets to twice, but I have so many like little projects that I'm constantly working on, like a cosplay or a look, or I'm doing photos for something. Or like I'm filming a YouTube video or I have an editing meeting. Like there's so many like different little things that go into being a content creator, as you know, as someone who like also has a lot of hobbies. I'm sure you totally get it,
So
you know?
hard to balance. Like, I always try to give myself like a weekly schedule. It's like, okay, this day film for YouTube, this day stream on like, because I stream on TikTok a lot, and I'm trying to get back into, because I used to do Twitch stuff all the time, and I love Twitch, and I want to get back into that. But I think my computer needs to be replaced before I do that, honestly.
Oh, maybe.
I was trying to stream on it for a bit, and it's like on its last legs, and it was just like, girl, what are you doing?
Were the fans kind of roaring, sort of?
Not even that, but I think it was the frame rate was giving me issues. So people were just watching like stop motion Overwatch.
I see.
Yeah.
We've all been there with our computer setups. We've all had that.
And I'm planning on replacing my computer within the next like few weeks once I pick which one I want to get, and then I'm like, maybe I'll try it then. But for now, like I just do TikTok streams a lot. But yeah, so I always have a weekly schedule of like, okay, this day do this day do this, and then it's like always so hard to actually stay on top of.
It's so impossible to stay on top of everything. And then there's also like the wig reviews that I've been trying to get into more and more often.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to juggle everything as a creator, but like that's part of the fun, I think.
When you do wig reviews, do you do them mostly on Instagram or on YouTube, or what's your go-to?
So lately I've been doing like just inspired looks or like themed looks sort of. For wig stuff, and it's been on Instagram and then a little bit of TikTok for the video content.
Cool. Yeah, it's like I feel like with all these different platforms these days, it's hard to decide which one to focus your attention on the most.
I agree.
And
I
feel like each one takes turns.
Stubborn blemish.
What was that?
I said I one stubborn blemish that I'm trying to cover up, but like not make it too.
I cannot see it at all.
Okay.
So, like, yeah.
I'm just worrying about it for no reason then. Then when you finished with, oh my God, it looks so glowy and pretty for you. Oh my God.
It's definitely coming together. I love this.
Isn't it?
It's
So exciting.
It's a really fun method. I'm definitely going to pick
I'm going to take kind of a flat brush again, but this is for kind of a taupey brown color. And that color is what I'm going to be using for nose contour.
Okay, perfect. This is so silly, but I feel like do you consider, like, I feel like I just realized that bronzer and contour are two different products.
Bronzer is kind of to add warmth to the face, kind of like a tan, and then contour is going to be more of a cool toned gray color to add shadows to one's face.
Right, and I feel like I only just noticed that watching someone else's makeup tutorial. She was like, oh my God, I'm so silly, I just called this contour bronzer, and I was like, you're saying they're different?
Yeah, no, it's like, it took me a long time to figure out that difference.
Yeah. I feel like I always use my bronzer and it works more or less, so I'm like, but let me actually try to do this right this time.
Yeah. I'm taking it and I'm putting it all the way like across my nose where the like nostril is, all the way to the other nostril. Okay. I'm kind of concentrating it there. Everyone's nose is different and they want to contour it differently, so it's like hard to say what works for me.
Just like what we were saying with the eyes earlier too.
Yeah.
It's good to just find what works.
I have a very thin nose bridge, so I don't feel like I need to contour that at all. I try to make it actually a little bit wider, and then I contoured the bottom part of my nose because that's the wider part.
Okay.
And I tried to make it match kind of like the thinner nose bridge a bit.
Like where? Put my mirror here. Okay, so we're gonna pretend my bronzer is contour still, and then I'm gonna find something else another day.
That totally works.
Learning experience.
I'm also going
I've
to
been using
take
this for a year or like for a long time, the same kind of product, so I'm like, this good enough.
Hey, if it works for you, it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking a little bit of highlighter and I'm putting it on kind of like right below where we put that contour.
Okay, perfect. What highlighter do you use?
It's an eyeshadow.
I
I've been using this eyeshadow as like a highlighter for about 3 years now, and I still haven't even hit pan on it. It's this ColourPop eyeshadow right here, and this is the highlighter that I use. It's like a champagne-y kind of color. It's like your hair. It's like your hair.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes eyeshadows are just the superior highlight.
Because they're so much more concentrated.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess that's what it is, right?
And then, so right now, as of right now, I've done the contour on my nose and I've put the highlighter on my nose. I'm going to kind of tie it all together by taking that blush brush that we had earlier. I'm going to dip into a blush of any kind, your favorite one, just a little bit of the powder blush.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of going to go over what we just did, the contour and the highlight, and
Oh yeah, because it's a nice way to just kind of blend everything together.
I'm going to kind of, make it cohesive. Make sure the highlights blending into the contour, blending into the blush. And I'm going to add a little more blush as well while I'm here because I think it looks so pretty.
Oh, I love blush. It really just makes any makeup look
Same
nice.
here. I'm going to take the residue of my blush brush and just put it everywhere, basically.
Perfect. You're such to just have all your products everywhere, and you're like, where did I put this?
Yeah. I have them all in front of me. You should see it. It looks like such a mess. It's kind of funny.
Scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a contour
All right.
here.
What?
Although, is this even? I found a contour that I could have used. That's a little bit more of a contour.
Oh my god, the nose highlighter that you did looks so cute.
Right? I feel like I feel like that's the most like success I've had with a nose contour before. Like,
makes your nose look so cute and sharp. I love it.
Yeah, I use the Wet n Wild highlight is surprisingly like really bright.
I love Wet n Wild.
Yeah, that's my products. If I at least try Elf or Wet n Wild, and then if I feel like I need something higher end than that, then I'll get it. But it's like almost everything I have is one of those two brands.
I like ColourPop and Elf. Those are probably my favorites.
Same, yeah. Totally.
For anything. I really like how like pigmented ColourPop is for the price. I think they're really solid.
My thing is having to order it online. Like if I need something, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna run to the store and get it. My patience is not good enough to like wait. But then occasionally, if it's on sale, then I'll just buy like a whole bunch of stuff at once.
I love a good sale. I can't pass up a good sale.
Like,
never been able to.
Get all of the things.
Girl, I forgot about mascara. Oh my god.
Are you doing lashes as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Because I don't have eyelashes, so it's part of alopecia. So then I just do like the lashes.
You can totally put your lashes on right now. I'm gonna do just a little bit of mascara. I used to
do big lashes as well. Okay, cool. Are you gonna do big dramatic lashes or like more of a natural, tapered? Like, what's your go-to?
I think I'm gonna do lashes that are. Hold on, let's decide together. You can help me decide which one's gonna look better. All right. So these are the most dramatic ones in my arsenal. There's like cat hair everywhere.
I'm always covered in dog hair too. Ooh, those are cute. Okay, I love that.
So this is the most dramatic.
Nice. Yeah, I like how they're long but not like thick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just like a nice lengthening.
I really like a fluffy kind of lash, but I like them longer on the sides, on the outer corner. So that's the most. Vibe, right? Yeah, I love a good taper. And I also have a slightly more subtle version of that if we want to do a little more low key. It's a very similar shape, but just a little less length.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like the ones I have here are similar to that, but then I also have like gigantic dramatic pair, which I feel like this is more of like a tapered, like subtle look. I feel like my other ones are like huge.
Those are huge.
The gigantic ones, yeah.
Let's do the little taper ones just to add a little bit of oomph.
Yeah. I go through phases with lashes where sometimes I just love like as big of a lash I can get, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, that's too much. I need to reel it back in again. But it's just so fun. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my lash process now, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good. You can explain to them your lash process as well as someone who doesn't have eyelashes.
Yeah, so a lot of people ask me if you can still do lashes if you don't have eyelashes, because I have a hair loss condition which is called alopecia, which is an autoimmune condition that I've had my whole life. So totally bald, have like sparse brows, and then my lashes like come and go the most. But I feel like putting on lashes without lashes of your own is more or less the same as doing it if you do have lashes.
I'm sure it could even be interpreted sometimes as more simple because you don't have real lashes to get in the way of your placement of the falsies.
Like, I would like worry about I just got the lashes stuck in my like fur sleeve.
Yeah.
Like worrying about like pulling out my natural lashes. Like I don't have to worry about that kind of thing at least.
Exactly.
Missing, but yeah, so it's actually like quite a simple process. But I feel like for me, the thing I used to struggle with when putting on my lashes is I would always put on too much glue or I wouldn't let it get tacky. Like I kind of had to learn that less is more for the most part with lash glue. If you want to have enough, I used to think you had to just slather it on. It's like just a little touch of it. So I usually put some on the lash, just like a little brush on glue, and then I put a little on over top my eyeliner as well. So I feel like that gives it like a nice landing pad.
Yeah.
It's easier. And then I also like the glue that dries dark if I'm wearing eyeliner.
I had a phase where I liked the darker glue as well.
Do you use clear now?
I do use clear now, but I did like the darker glue for a long time.
So I'm pretty much almost always wearing like a black cat eye because I've just been doing that for so long. I'm just used to it.
And well, you do such a good job of it too. It looks so good. Why wouldn't you wear it all the time?
And I feel like it changes the way my face shape looks, that when I don't wear it, I feel like I look completely different now. So I'm just so used to it.
Like, okay, if I had to choose one like makeup thing to wear outside of the house, like because I didn't have time, it's eyeliner. Every single time. Yeah. Like it makes the biggest difference out of every makeup item and technique. That is the one thing I cannot live like without.
It just looks like so cute. It makes you look like a cute little cartoon character. So
I know. I like making the eyes bigger, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting it on the lash band, and then I just put it on my eye as well.
I did a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes as well.
Okay. This is like a Felicia Hardy look for like Black Cat. I love that you have the mask already, but I feel like it would be so fun to also try to like draw on the mask with face paint too.
Wait, you totally should though.
I know. Maybe I will like after the live stream too, because I just know I'm gonna mess it up. But I feel like maybe I'll do it after.
Well,
take some pics.
That would be okay too if you messed it up.
Yeah, I feel like it's always I always do like one attempt at a face paint look that I don't get, but then as soon as I do it the second time, then normally I can like learn from my mistakes.
That's how I am when I was drawing Diva's tattoos on my face.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna ask like if you've done like a lot of characters that require face paint.
I haven't done a ton, and I think in the end it got pretty all right, but I ended up opting for the tattoos mostly.
For Diva.
For Diva's face paint.
Mm-hmm. Because that's like again, it's like doing your cat eyeliner, but on your face. It's like it's so hard to get it all even.
So difficult, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the only other ones I've done with extensive face paint. Oh my gosh, it's sticking to my fingers. I love when that happens. I did like Ember from Danny Phantom, which was really fun.
Oh.
You know her, it's like a really niche random thing, but I feel like she kind of got popular in like the cosplay world for a bit.
Yeah.
That one's really fun. But that the hard part about that is I wanted to get like her gray skin look. So like the actual like eyeliner, like the black marks that she had were pretty easy. But then I wanted to like cover my whole face in like a really thin coat of gray face paint.
Yeah, and that can be harder.
Because especially because she has like bare arms and stuff. So I know people do stuff with like a kind of sleeves that you can buy that help make you look like with a skin tone without having to like change it. Like if you're doing like a raven look and you want the gray face paint.
Yeah.
Easier to like just wear a garment that kind of mimics that look.
Yeah, like they're kind of like tights.
Yeah. I think that's way easier to do on your legs, but then like trying to get it like cohesive on your hand, because then you have to kind of like turn it into a glove too. And I've seen so many tutorials and I'm like, I don't have the patience. I'm sure I'll do it someday, but
I definitely stick to the cosplays that require less
yeah,
as opposed to the ones that require more. I can be so lazy sometimes.
Same. Like every once in a while, if I really want to do a certain character, then I will like do something more intricate like that. But like it's so easy for me to get bored midway through a project and I never want to like start something intricate and then just never finish it. So
Yeah.
I gotta pick and choose
like
my battles.
God, I'm literally the same way. As like I'll like start a project. It's for me it's the little bit of ADHD, you know,
Same,
like the
yeah.
crippling amount of ADHD. Like I'm so excited to like start the process and less excited to finish.
Yeah. Something I find myself doing a lot is I'll like plan out a cosplay crafting thing and then I'll buy a whole bunch of materials for it and then like the day or two that it takes to arrive, lost interest.
Done.
Like,
Done. Passion gone.
yes.
No,
oh gosh.
that is so relatable. Help.
It's so funny. I love that. And then, but then sometimes like 2 years later, like 2 years will go
I'll
by.
pick it up. I'll pick it up again. Stop.
It's so funny how that works. Like I love that. We're the same way.
Our brains are so funny.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like it means we're both just are the kind of people that always have lots of projects we want to do. So it's like
it's all right.
Because we're working on something bigger and better.
We'll always come back to it though, you know?
Exactly. Okay. I feel like I'm looking a little shiny, so I might add a little face powder, unless you're gonna do that as another step.
I will do that at the end if you want to wait for me, but you can also do it now. It's totally okay.
Too, yeah. Look, I always try to film on my phone with this like bright ring light, and I don't know about you, but whenever I film on my phone, trying to use any sort of like artificial light, like a ring light, makes it look worse.
It definitely does emphasize like any shine to the face for sure.
Like I feel like I just look so shiny right now, and I'm definitely not that shiny in real life, but it's like I'm even gonna try lower it and just see if it makes a diff. And then I just look like I'm sitting in the dark.
I'm lucky right now that I kind of have like a window in front of me.
Yeah. So for me, it's because we're in different time zones. I'm 3 hours ahead, so like the sun is slowly setting outside as we're doing this.
So that you need the right
light. Whenever I'm doing anything on my phone, I always just use the window, unless it's not an option.
I'm just pinching my lashes together real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of blend.
Just to like adjust and make sure they're even, because sometimes I'll have one like droopy and one sticking up.
Yeah.
Classic.
Okay.
Makeup is looking so good. I love it.
We're doing so great, aren't we? Oh my God, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take, wow, it's another e.l.f. product. That's crazy.
Which one is this? Is this face powder? Or?
This is face powder. It's the Halo Glow setting powder, and I'm just going to take some of it on my kind of dirty beauty blender.
Okay. I'm gonna use a brush because I don't have a beauty blender, but I didn't even realize when you said that mine is also e.l.f., but this is like the
oh my
HD.
God.
But I feel like all of their what did you say yours was?
Halo Glow.
Yeah, I feel like all their Halo Glow products are like the fancier e.l.f. products. Like I feel like I want to get all those now.
Yeah, no, they're
in e.l.f.
and I think they perform really well too.
Yeah, I love that they just have such a wide range. Like every single product they have, you can either buy something for like $1 to $3, or you can get something for like a little bit more.
Yeah, no, they really do have something for everybody, which I really like. Yeah. All right, like I put some like nose and then that way, and then I put some to the side of the mouth, and then I put obviously a lot on the chin, and then I'm going to take like a lot of powder and just put it in the middle of my forehead because I get a greasy T-zone.
Same. I like to carry my powder with me.
Yeah,
if I
know.
want to stay looking nice, just in case.
Have you tried blotting sheets?
I used to use those, but I feel like even just using like a tissue or something is the same difference. Like, I don't know.
Like a square of toilet paper.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy a whole
exactly
I can just use
what I need it to. Yeah.
It's like a little bit of that and a little bit of powder if I need it, something more. But,
yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Definitely one of those things that's like the marketing.
Yeah, like, you're right. No, you're totally right.
They definitely do work though. Like I have friends that swear by them for sure.
Yeah. So I think the blotting powders are easier to keep in my purse. But like if I'm at home, the square toilet paper really just never it never
a roll of toilet paper in your bag.
It never disappoints me. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. We're getting to the end here almost.
And then we're gonna try on some more wigs. Super exciting.
I've got brows and lips left, I think. Oh, actually, I think I am gonna do like just a little bit of contour underneath the chin.
Okay. Cool.
I do have a contour brush and a little bit of contour.
I always like to watch and then attempt. Of the Halo Glow Wands, do you have all three of them? Highlight, blush, contour? And
I do. I love all of them.
They're so, I love just like the shimmer, like no matter what.
I know.
Just, like,
oh, and you know what? I think all the highlighter that's added to all of the Halo Glow products, I think it makes it so flattering on the face.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try like the Halo Glow base. It just ties it all together. Yeah, and then I feel like brows and lips are just like so essential to just like tie it together because now I feel like all my makeup is just like here.
Yeah. No,
like expand
I think
more.
Let's do brows next so that we can kind of get our face on.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I also have certain wigs where I feel like my makeup has to be a little more done, and then certain wigs where I will do more of a natural look. Do you feel the same way?
Yep. 100%. I'm with you there. I'm going to take a highlighter and I'm going to do kind of the slit in my eyebrow.
Okay.
And which is conveniently marked where my newer piercing is.
How long ago did you get it?
About like 2 weeks, I think. It's pretty new.
It looks so good on you. I've always wanted to get one.
Thank you. No,
for some reason.
I wasn't sure how I felt about it, and then I got it and I was like, it grew on me so quickly. I loved it.
Yeah, no, it looks so good on you.
Thank you. Oh my god. I feel like there's not a special way you have to do brows. You can just do whatever you like normally do for your brows. I think brows and lips definitely tie a look together. What'd you say?
Coming call, and I think it came back now, so I think we're good.
Okay.
Perfect. I hate when I forget to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and then I'm like, no.
I should have done that too. I forgot to do that as well. Stop.
I almost never get like phone calls that often, but like it's always that one. It's always like they somehow know that I'm streaming. It's like,
oh yeah. No, they always know.
Okay, I'm actually gonna wipe off the brow I already have, so I can just have a clean slate. And then, so I feel like I do have like some really blonde brows, but they're so sparse and they're so light that you can't even.
Well, I thought they were cute.
Yeah, it works, you know. And then it's also just fun to have a clean slate to do a dramatically different brow every day. Like I feel like I'll change my brow shape for the wig that I'm wearing all the time.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to do a super upturned look, you could, or you could always do a 20s eyebrow, like the really thin ones for fun. Like
I love that.
in a
Yeah, like every
way, you
era
have
has
so much
different
flexibility. Yeah, I kind of love that you have that flexibility to do whatever you'd like to your brows.
Yeah, like a lot of people ask me if I would ever do microbladed brows, because a lot of people who have like no brows will do that. You know, like like it's like a tattoo essentially for your brows.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like to change it up. I don't want to commit to a face tattoo brow. I like to change it.
It's definitely it's one of those personalized things. Like some people like don't like wigs even, and some people don't want to get their eyebrows microbladed. Like
absolutely. It's like whatever
each
works for you is perfect.
person has their like own preference, and that's like love that for them.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun to just see what works. So like with this kind of wig, for example, I feel like I like to have more of an arched brow and a little bit of a darker brow.
Yeah.
Like
love it.
Tie the look together. And I like once I put my brows on and then set it, they just like last the whole day so nicely. So which brow product are you using?
I'm using a drugstore product, I think. I'm using NYX Lift and Snatch. And it's an eyebrow
makeup collection. So funny.
Are you using that too?
Yeah, I love this thing.
We're literally the same person. Stop. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
I love that.
Yeah, so usually with this, like I'll do like one layer of like the e.l.f. pencil, the retractable one, because it's easy to just put on really quick.
And you can feather that out, and then you do the strokes with this one, don't you?
Yeah, that can really add like the individual brow hair effect.
I literally feel the same way. This is so funny.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
It's so cool that we have like different things that we want to emphasize with our makeup, different like techniques sometimes, but like, hey, when a product is good, a product is good, right?
Exactly. Like, yeah, the fact that it works for like full brows or like no brows, like it just works so well.
It's so versatile, isn't it?
Definitely. I feel like there's so many brow products that just like don't do anything. I'm gonna start moving on. I was looking at your reels, and I noticed that you do rock climb also.
I do. Yeah.
I love that. So I used to rock climb like pre-lockdown.
No
and then
way.
During lockdown, I obviously had to stop and like cancel my subscription, and I haven't gone back since. And I've been dying to go back. So I was looking at your videos.
You totally should. And you did indoor. Did you do indoor bouldering?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I did it like 5 times a week, like every week.
Oh, you were serious about it? Oh my god.
But I feel like I never got beyond like a V4. Well, for anyone who's not familiar with rock climbing, it's ranked by like V0 to V like what's the highest? Like 12.
I'd say like, and beginners definitely a V1, and then I'd say like people who are climbing for like 5 years, they're probably at like a 5 or 6 level, you know.
Yeah. So I was like slowly starting to get to like the V3, V4 a little bit here and there. And then that was such a sad feeling when like rock gyms were all closed for like at least a year. So I could not do it, and then I just haven't gone back since because I don't want to do the gym anymore. Once
you stop rock climbing, it can be really defeating to go back because you've lost so much grip strength. Like, because you know how specialized it is. Like, you of all people understand like the weird muscles that you get when you climb, and if you don't use those muscles, you lose them like within 2 weeks. Like within 2 weeks, they're gone.
Within a week, you're like, okay, I'm back to V0 again.
Yeah,
like,
and it can be.
My arms were like never stronger, and now I feel like I'm just a noodle again. So I have to really start from scratch again.
So there is definitely like that feeling of I have to start over. But the great thing is like you don't lose the technique.
That's a good point.
So So like if you go tomorrow, you're still gonna have great technique probably. That's not something you lose. You've probably just lost a little bit of like of those specialized muscle groups, but you can get that back in a month.
Yeah, you know what? You're encouraging me to do it. I'm gonna go do it soon. Because the other thing now is I used to have a rock gym that was through my work commute, so I could always just easily stop there, like on the way to a tour from work.
Oh, and you're on didn't you say you're a little bit on like the outskirts now? So is it a little bit harder to get to one?
Yeah, like there's one like a 40-minute drive, like 30-40 minute drive for me, which is like right in the range where if it was like 30, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But 40 is starting to get to like
40's like, well, because then by the time you get there, do your workout and come back, it's probably like a 3-hour excursion.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas before it was just like on my way home, I'd be like, oh, let me just pop in,
Yeah.
couple climbs and go.
Well, it might, because of that time thing, it might be something you only want to do like once a week now, but that would still be enough to maintain a lot of strength.
Yeah, that's true. Because I feel like I'm the kind of person that doesn't really like work out in like a gym setting. I need like a fun workout.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you want something that kind of like, it's a disguised workout. And that's what rock climbing is like a disguised workout.
Mm-hmm.
What lip liner do you use? I use Milani.
So this is LA Girl. I think I bought this one day where I just needed a lip liner and just bought whatever the store had. Because I feel like a good lip liner is kind of hard to find sometimes.
It can be for sure. I love all the drugstore makeup that we use. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, me too. Like I don't even know if I have any like high-end stuff in front of me right now.
The only high-end thing I have right now is this MAC lipstick. Because I really wanted to see how a high-end lipstick would wear throughout the day compared to a drugstore one. And I think there's a little bit, I think lipstick might be one of those things that I'm willing to splurge on.
Exactly. I was going to say there's certain products that are just really honestly just better if you do get the higher end ones. But for some of them, it really doesn't make a difference. But lipstick is definitely that kind of category. Use a gloss of like a similar color.
I put spinach and blackberries in my like protein drink today, so I'm like fishing out little pieces of blackberry and spinach in my tea.
Classic. Okay. I think this look is really coming together now.
Isn't it a cute one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like how this looks. So for your like, because you have another like full suit for your Black Cat cosplay as well, right? This is like more of a like toned down version now.
Yes, this is like kind of her if she was out and about
off
look.
Duty. Yeah.
But I do have a full like, you know, cat suit kind of.
Yeah, I love it. Because then I also love how that's like I guess that's like more of a modern costume that she has, right? Because then like the that I'm wearing, or this is just like my
yours is
version. But
I feel like yours is like kind of the OG classic comic book style, and then mine is a little bit more of the like modern rendition of it, which is so cool that we've covered both bases like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say it's fun to just show the different versions. Oh my god. So is this the final look now? I
think there's one last step that I want us to do, and it's to take a little bit of highlighter on like any sort of brush that you have and go to the brow and lightly pat just a little bit of that highlighter onto the brow. Or anywhere else that you feel like is missing a little bit of shine. That one regular guy, we are talking about Felicia Hardy / Black Cat because that is the look that we're doing today with the wigs that we're wearing. Chat, what do you guys think? Do you think we nailed Felicia Hardy and Black Cat? What do you guys think?
I would say so.
I think so too. Oh my god, it's so exciting. Isn't she awesome, regular guy? I feel like so Abby's doing kind of like the classic comic book Black Cat with the lighter hair and the fur and the choker. It's so perfect. And then I have the more modern, like newer Black Cat. So we've covered both bases, which is super exciting.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so do we want to try getting more into like the wig category of it now?
Yeah, let's do the different wigs. Perfect. So I might put on the one you have just for funs, which is Riley.
So the one you're wearing now is Allure Waves, correct?
Right now I'm wearing Allure Waves in Lunar Haze. So it's a beautiful dimensional silver. It's so cute. Oh my god, when I take off the wig, you're going to see like the line of foundation where it stops. Before you take it off,
I'm also going to put on my Allure Waves so we can compare the two colors because I do have
sure thing
wig in a different color. So this obviously isn't the Black Cat color, but it's always fun to see the same wig in different
And what did you say that one, what that color was?
Mauve berry. So I feel like this one also doesn't show up as well on camera, but it's really like this gorgeous kind of purpley,
She
like
looks
reddish purple.
more wine on camera, but in real life, she's like more purple.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. But just a gorgeous color here. And that lace front, lace part. Like I find with this one, the more I kind of like move it to the side, the more I can really expose that like really natural looking lace front.
Yeah, when we part it down the middle, it's a little harsh, but when we do change it,
yeah, it's like being able to kind of play around with it and see. Because like I didn't tweeze that or anything. That's just like moving the part, and I think that looks.
You know, that's funny you should mention the tweezing because that's literally what I was doing. Like right before we started streaming, it's like I literally have the tweezers right here.
Yeah. Because sometimes that does.
That's what I was
work.
trying to do on her.
Like, yeah, it's good to always be careful for people who haven't done that before. Like you can always take your wigs to like a wig specialist to do things like that too. But
I've always found that like a good YouTube tutorial is like pretty solid. But definitely the first time you tweeze a wig, do it on a wig you don't care about as much.
exactly,
That's my general
like I feel like I
rule
always
of thumb.
experiment with wigs that are like older, and if I ruin it somehow, then I'm like, okay, I was ready to retire that wig anyway. Like, especially since I wear wigs daily, I always like replace styles as they get older.
Yeah.
So then I always have like the old one to kind of experiment with. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be the perfect thing to try a new, like either a cutting style, because sometimes I will like thin out with like shears a wig if it's too thick. But usually, like I'd say like René of Paris is really good at having wigs be like ready to wear right out of the box.
Yeah,
I don't have to do a ton of customization, but
exactly.
So we're both wearing Allure Waves, and then mine's Lunar Haze. Abby's is Mauve Berry.
Yeah. They're both
and I'm gonna take
styles.
yes.
Yeah. You want to switch now? Okay, so let's switch to.
I'm gonna switch to the one you had, which was Riley.
See, like wear them both and match for a
second. Yeah.
So with my wig switching, I'm so used to just like off on. Like it takes me literally 2 seconds to switch, which is so nice. That is the perk.
I have to take it out of its packaging real quick. Oh, I like the side part that you have going on.
Yeah, so this one, let me see what I think this is a lace front lace part, and like the part there is like pretty wide, so you kind of can either wear it more in the middle or you can wear it more to the side. That looks so good on you. I love it.
Oh my god, I love that we're matching too, and then we have the same one.
So this color is a fun color because it's called pastel pink, and especially if you see it in person and you see it in the light, it has like the most beautiful, subtle.
It's such a subtle pink, but like.
But it's also kind of like a platinum blonde.
But on camera, it looks like a true platinum blonde, but it has beautiful dimension. Like if you get really close to camera, you can see the little bit of pink right there and a little bit of the more yellow blonde. Oh my god, we're so Felicia. We're so Black Cat.
So I've wanted to do a Black Cat cosplay for so long, and I've always had this wig in mind for it. So this is perfect.
No, that's literally this is the perfect occasion then. So it gives us an excuse to finally do it. And I don't believe this one is heat friendly.
No,
there are ways to still style heat friendly wigs, but what I do like about a non-heat friendly is like, look how natural that hairline looks like for both of us. I think it looks so good.
Yeah.
Like this looks like our hair.
Yeah.
It literally giving scalp.
All different fiber types. There's just different benefits to all of them. So I find with
100%.
Heat-friendly styles, I think you, after many wears, eventually have to do a little more maintenance, whereas synthetic is more likely to like fully hold its style. That's kind of my own experience. What about you? Do you kind of feel?
I also feel like, which one do you think is shinier? I feel like these ones are less shiny and they're a little more natural looking sometimes.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, and then I feel like that shine too. I feel like as I wear them a couple of times, I feel like that shine just kind of tones down anyway with either fiber type.
That's
so
true. Yeah.
Some people like the shiny new look, and then I also like when it just gets a little toned down. But
yeah. So I'd say in general, I don't mind. Like I like the different styles and the different heat friendly or not heat friendly types. Like I'm just different things for different occasions and for different looks, right?
Exactly.
Oh my god, it's so fun being a blonde because I'm a natural brunette.
It looks so good on you. Like I wouldn't even question that.
It's so fun. Like, oh my god, look how big it is. It's kind of like
ooh, I love it.
Like I just took a a wide tooth comb and I like gave it a little bit of volume. I zhuzhed it up a bit. Oh my God, is it giving? Someone in chat says it's giving.
It is giving. And that's what these lace front wigs, you really can kind of like brush it back and it still looks so natural. Yeah, it's literally giving.
It's so fun. And something I love about a synthetic wig is that you can just
tease it
put it up
out
like that.
Yeah.
You can tease it with your hands and it will like kind of stay, which you can't really do that with human hair.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've never really even like thought about that, but it's like a little easier to work with, honestly. Ooh,
yeah, like you can really
there. This is fun.
You can really make it voluminous, which is super fun.
Ooh, okay, that's a whole other vibe. I like that.
I kind of like it too. It looks like messy and effortless in a way.
Yeah.
Look at this, I love it. Oh,
that's so fun.
I want to try something different by pulling out Cason.
Okay.
And which is a shorter style, and it's going to be in lilac silver R, and I want to see what that will look like.
Yeah,
a shorter style.
And then in the meantime, I also brought out this wig because it was also kind of a white-ish, but this one's fun because this is called, this wig is, Panache Waves in Icy Petal, I believe. And it's actually very similar to Pastel Pink, but it actually is like slightly more pink. So if you want like a, they're very similar, like to the eye, but I feel like it just has a little bit more of that pink in the mix. And this one's from the
a little more of a pinky tone. Do you know something I also really like about Riley, the one like we were just wearing together, is that it kind of makes me think of Targaryens,
Ooh,
from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that would be really good for that kind of cosplay too.
Because I think it's the fluffiness of the hair. Like it doesn't look super sleek.
Yeah. That looks cute. Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, do you know like Storm from X-Men?
Yes, I feel like that's a really good Storm wig.
Wait,
oh my gosh, good call.
Wait, I can do kind of like a Wolverine look.
Yes, like some sort of their child or something if they had a kid.
It's kind of cute.
This is like if Felicia cut her hair a little.
Yeah, if Felicia chopped off her hair.
Who did this remind me of? I put a black headband on with this the other day, and I feel like it reminded me of like
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Do you have the black hairband right now?
I don't. I think it's in my other room, but yeah, that is like a perfect kind of Gwen Stacy. And then also like Sabrina Spellman too. I think it was making me think of a little because I feel like in the Netflix series she has that kind of hair. It looks so cute, and it's so fun to just kind of play with the little like wisps.
Yeah. And you can do that with a good synthetic wig, is you can just kind of move her in the way that you would like to have her be.
Look at it, she looks so good on you. It looks so cute.
It's so fun to do a shorter style. And like, René's hair
from Storm to Beast. That's so funny.
They do such a good job of the backs of shorter wigs. Like, I think it looks so realistic. Wait, I want to see what it looks like with a coat on.
Ooh, okay.
Because, like, remember how we were talking about fur?
Yeah. Oh, so you have, like, perfect.
I've got a little bit of fur.
Like Felicia Hardy, like, inspired, like, Black Cat
inspired. Yeah. Very much so. Oh my god,
so cool.
Do you know what I kind of look like, though? Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada. Like,
but, like, somehow in a good way? Like,
I think so, yeah. No,
yeah, I love that.
This is
a very super high fashion right now.
Yeah, no, it looks like a very expensive, like I feel expensive right now.
Yeah, something about that. It's like if I saw you on the street,
it's like,
oh, she's important.
It's like, yes, I do work at Vogue, thank you.
Yeah, right. Like, I just want to try like a gray too, to go with that. So like you had the kind of like grayish on, so I'm going to try it. This is Sage and Moonstone.
I'm going to redo, I've been taking wigs on and off. I'm going to redo this band.
Yeah, so that's a wig grip for anyone who doesn't know. That's really good for kind of holding the wig in place too.
When you don't, especially when you don't want to use glue.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I loved the silver of Allure Waves that I was doing with Lunar Haze, but I think my favorite one has to be Riley. Like,
yeah, I feel like that's like the classic Felicia Hardy look, and that just looks so good on you too.
Stop! Thank you so much.
Okay. So what do we think? So for your final like black cat look, what do you think you would choose between all these that we've tried on?
I I think for a modern black cat, probably Allure Waves in Lunar Haze. And then for a more classic black cat look, it's got to be Riley.
Yeah,
Like,
that is so spot on.
it's like, ugh, I love how fluffy it is. It's so much fun.
So, so cute.
Oh my God, says the cute one. I really love the gray. See, like that's the very modern Felicia right there.
Yeah, right. So we've kind of switched places now. So
We did.
like, yeah, this one I love like the middle part and this is Sage and Moonstone. So it's just fun how there's so many different colors to choose from. So you can kind of just go like slightly darker gray, slightly lighter gray, and then just kind of really mix it up. But yes.
Yeah, I like it. We're able to show. I love that the makeup that we did ends up working with so many different like wigs that we were able to
exactly.
show.
So even though we had like a character in mind, like we could still like go out into the world like this and not be like, why is that girl in a cosplay?
Yeah, no, like this looks very normal. We could 100% go out and about wearing them.
For sure. It's like a nice fun, like casual Felicia Hardy.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to consider these our final looks now?
I think this is the final look for sure. This is our Black Cat Felicia Hardy cosplay look, you guys. What do you think? Chat, what do you think of the look? Do you think we nailed Felicia?
Like, I wonder if someone saw this, would they be like, that's Felicia Hardy? Like, I feel like with this situation, maybe.
Especially with the fur and the choker that you did, 100%. Like, I feel like you absolutely got it.
I love this. But then again, I don't know if I would go to the grocery store like this. So if we're talking about something I'd wear into the real world, like...
Wait.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh, that is so spot on. That is
wait. I have an idea. I think I have to put this on first. Yes.
Like, it's like the perfect hack, because you don't have to like wrestle with the hair.
Exactly.
That's such a look right now. Like, wait, that's so good. Yeah, now you're like exactly Black Cat vibes right now.
Oh, we have it. Girl, we did it.
Yes. Okay, so here are the final Black Cat looks. I love how this came out. Thank you so much for walking me through this look. I feel like I did learn so many like tips and tricks here as we were going through it.
I'm so glad to share some of my favorite techniques with you, especially underpainting. I feel like that one was like
I'm totally
a super fun one to share with you.
I love it. That's
well, I think it makes our base so natural and so pretty. So
yeah, it really just gives that like glow from within kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not wearing blush. This is just my natural skin tone.
Yeah. Blushing from within.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. So I think we can like start to wrap up our final looks and everything here. But like just as some final like closing words, are there any like tips you would give for someone who's like just getting into cosplay, just getting into wigs, like any of that?
I think for anyone who's just starting out, don't be afraid to try things. Like don't be afraid to like don't let your fear of I don't know if this looks silly or I don't know if it looks wiggy, like doesn't matter. Try it out. Like I guarantee you most people aren't paying that much of like attention. Like they're so busy paying attention to their own hair or their own skin or whatever, they're probably just like not going to notice yours. And I need to take my own advice more often when I'm thinking about like my acne prone skin. But yeah, no, and I think people could have so much more of an open mind with wigs when they realize how much damage it can save your hair from. Like, I've given my hair such a break over the past few years because, like, I wear wigs so often now, and it can save you so much time too. Like,
definitely
being able to pop one of these on for either of us, like, is significantly quicker than like. For me, styling my own bio hair or even a human hair unit would be it would just take so much more. It would take a half an hour to 45 minutes to style, whereas like, you know, a synthetic wig from René of Paris is really just so much more time efficient and you have so many different options to choose from.
Yeah, right, because there's so many different color options. Like all the ones we showed here, even just like the range between like different shades between like past like grays or a platinum blonde,
Yeah.
but then like between the blues and the purples and just like everything on the whole spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they've got a little bit of everything. They also have some, we didn't show a ton of natural colors today, except this kind of like more platinum blonde, but René Paris, like they have so many, what was that one? I got one in like wasn't marshmallow, it was cashmere brown.
Oh, cashmere brown, I love that one.
Cashmere brown on Listen or Lyson?
Linden. Yeah, so I have that exact one. Oh my gosh, so we have another wig that matches. I wish I had it in front of me. I think
it's so soft.
Yeah.
Like for synthetic.
Yeah, that's a different fiber type. That's actually a blend of the synthetic and the heat-friendly synthetic. So it's kind of like trying to create like the optimum like blend between the two, essentially.
Literally the perfect blend because it was so soft. It does not tingle.
Yeah.
Like a lot of synthetic wigs, like of course you're always gonna have a little bit of tingling, even with these high-end ones. But Linden was just a beautiful blend, and she was so pretty, and she just looks so natural. She's a great like everyday wig for sure. So even though we didn't show a ton of like those more natural colors, it was super exciting to do a cosplay look and show that like with the high-end synthetics, you can do fun, crazy stuff too, and you don't just have to do a natural look. That there's something for everybody with René of Paris.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that a wig like this could go either way. It could be like a day-to-day wig, or it could be a cosplay wig. And it's so fun to be able to use them for either instance.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it was seriously so much fun to share this look with you, and I would love to do future looks with you as well. We could have so much fun. And especially with all the different wigs that we have sitting here. But it was,
now that we know we have another one in common too, we could do one with cashmere brown colors.
We could literally, there's so many options, especially with spring coming up. We could always do, because we did a very kind of cool toned, silvery kind of look today, both with the hair and our makeup. We can always do a very glowy summer look as well. Like there's so many options for the future. So thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Abby, René of Paris.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
So anyone who's watching, if you don't already know Tofu, go to her channel, Tofu Games. That's right. Is it tofu.games?
It's tofu_games.
Tofu_games. Yeah. So Twitch streamer, YouTuber, cosplayer, like everything. So yeah, definitely check her out if you haven't already. And yeah, if anyone's just joining the stream now, the whole thing will be posted on our channel with René of Paris. So you can always go back and rewatch the whole thing later too if you want to see how we achieve these looks. So yeah, so thank you so much. This was so much fun.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you, René of Paris. Thank you, Abby, for hosting me, and take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.